Today I'm going to be performing med administration for George Jackson. My name is Molly Miners and I'm a Bellarmine nursing student. So the first thing I'm going to do is check the MAR. Our patient is George Jackson. His date of birth is 12/24/1948. His MR number is 0841, and I'm also going to check that with his medicine box and make sure the numbers are matching up. It is George Jackson, the date of birth is correct, and so is the MR number. So, the first thing I'm going to do when administering meds is pull up his med list, and I can see that he has 4 meds that are scheduled and have not yet been given. And I'm going to come over to his med box, and I see that he needs hepatitis B. So I'm going to check that, and it's Hep B. It is 1 milliliter. It is given IM and once a day. The next medicine is regular insulin, and I'm also going to check that. And I can see that it's regular insulin, and depending on his blood sugar or blood glucose level, he is going to get a certain dose. And today his glucose was a 323, so on the sliding scale I can see that he will need 8 units. His next medicine is furosemide, and I can see that this is correct, and it's a 40 milligram tablet. The package is sealed still, and the expiration date is not expired.
Now, I confirm.
And the next medicine that he's going to be taking is the pantoprazole sodium, and I can see that it's also 40 milligrams orally, and the package has not been opened, it's still intact, and the date is non-expired. Okay, so the first medicine I'm going to prepare are the 2 oral medicines. And like I said, I checked that both medicines were intact and the expiration dates were fine. So I'm going to place those in the jar. I'm then going to start with the hepatitis B. So I'm going to confirm that this is the Hep B medicine. The quality is for 1 milliliter, so because of that, I'm going to get a 1-inch needle, and he needs a 1-inch needle because his weight is 101.8 kilograms. He's going to use a 3 milliliter syringe because the medicine only calls for 1 milliliter. And I have my alcohol pad. So I'm going to go ahead and prepare this. I'm going to start by cleaning the bottle, and I'm going to clean for 10 seconds. I'm going to leave that pad on there so I know it has been cleaned. Okay. I'm going to dispose of the alcohol. I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to attach the needle to the syringe, uncap the needle, and because I'm doing 1 milliliter, I'm going to pull back 1 milliliter
And I'm going to have my fellow nurse.
and insert this air into the bottle.
This is 8 units.
Then I'm going ahead and draw back 1 milliliter of solution, making sure there are no bubbles in that. And once I pull out, I'm going to recap and place this to the side.
I'm going to, again,
Okay, with the insulin, I'm going to go back and make sure that this is regular insulin, which is correct. His blood glucose, like I said before, was 323, and on the sliding scale, I can see that he will need 8 units.
Jackson,
So I'm going to use the insulin syringe.
0841, date of birth 12/24/48.
Clean the top for 10 seconds.
Insulin, 8 units.
Going to let that dry.
Jackson, medical record number 0841, date of birth 12/24/48.
I'm going to uncap
Units.
draw up 8 units of air,
PO medication, Naprazole, 40 milligrams.
insert that air into the bottle, and then draw up 8 units of insulin. Making sure there are no air bubbles.
And I also failed to mention that because
Recap
Mr.
and set that aside.
224 that we were
Once I have all my medicines ready to administer, I'm going to do a second check of MAR. And at this time with the insulin, as I'm doing my second check, I would have another nurse come in due to the sensitivity. Okay, so this is insulin for Mr. Jackson, and his blood glucose was 323. There's the sliding scale.
Okay, so he's receiving 8 units because of the sliding scale.
And there's my syringe.
It's drawn up correctly.
Okay, thank you. So I'm going to once again do the second check, making sure that the medicines are correct. So I have the sodium, 40 milligrams, orally, package intact, not expired. I'm going to go back with the Thromenicide, 40 milligrams, orally, package is intact and not expired.
I said, working my film.
We will check the insulin.
All right, Joseph.
Okay. This is a sub-Q insulin regular. And you can see that it is 8 units due to his blood glucose. And with the IM, I'm going to label this, and it's going to have his number or his name on it, his date of birth, the type of medicine, where it's being administered, the amount, and the time that it is given. I'm going to put that on the cap. So once that second check is done of all the medicines, and I have verified that it is the right dose, the right patient, the right medicine, and the right time, I'm ready to go do my third check of MR in the patient's room as I administer the medicine.